Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sam and I don't think I've ever been this excited to film a video for you guys. The day that you are watching this, Friday, September 27th, is my 33rd birthday. Yes, I'm 33 years old. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Don't want to talk about it, but here we are. For my 33rd birthday, I figured I would share with you guys 33 of my all-time favorite books. Books that I love dearly, okay? I will protect these books with my life. I love them with every ounce of my being, okay? You get the picture. I will ask though, and I hesitate even saying this because the last time I made a video about like books that I will accept no criticism on, or, you know, aka favorite books, someone commented and said, I don't even really remember the comment exactly what it was, but basically like, I was censoring people's thoughts and opinions on books by basically asking people, hey, don't get in the comments and bash these books that I love. Because people tend to do that a lot, okay? I know books are subjective. We all have opinions on books. It's fine if one of these books I love, you absolutely hated. I am just asking you, and on my birthday, as a birthday gift to me, if you don't like these books, please don't write me an entire paragraph as to why you hate one of them, okay? We're keeping things positive. We're going to talk about books that we love, okay? If you love one of these books, put it in the comments. Yes, let me know. Hey, I like that book too. I think there's a time and a place in a video where you can express, hey, I didn't like this book because of XYZ, you know, if it's a wrap up, a recommendation video, something like that. But when someone is talking about their favorite books, just don't go in the comments and say how much you hated it. Like, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that about their favorite book, okay? And I'm asking you, please, I'm not trying to censor you or your opinion. I've rambled enough. We're going to get into the video. But before I get into the books, I do want to mention that I'm not going to go into too much detail on these books. It's basically just going to be the genre and then tropes. Or if I have something like very specific that I liked this book for, I might say that, but like I'm not going to give any details because we would be here all day. And also none of these books are in any particular order except for number one, and you all are going to know what number one is. Anyway, if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you're going to know. But I just kind of wrote down 33 books as they came to mind. So the first book is my number one book, okay? You can all say it with me. Sam's favorite book is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, okay? No surprise, my all-time favorite book. Literally have a tattoo based off of this book. I love it that much. I will protect this book and I will protect Rhys and Feyre with my life, okay? I love them. This book, when I read it, I didn't know that you could feel this way about books and about characters like this. Like, yes, I had fallen in love with characters before in a story before, but never anything like this. So this series will always carry a very special place in my heart, and especially this book. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning because I could not put this book down. And since we're on the topic of Sarah J. Maas, I'm gonna just go ahead and get all of her books out of the way. The ones that really stick out to me that I absolutely love. We all know I love all of her books, but Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, this is book 1 in the Crescent City series. I reread this when book 3 came out and it just made me fall in love with this book even more. This to me is like the perfect Sarah J. Maas book. You've got characters that are just so good and lovable, and they have growth in here and struggles in here, and the plot is so freaking good, and the things that she leaves for you, the little Easter eggs, she is brilliant, okay? She's brilliant. You won't change my mind. And then we're going to talk about Throne of Glass, which I feel like on my channel I don't talk about how much I really love the Throne of Glass books enough. So I have 4 books from the series that I love. I think the turning point in the series for a lot of people is Heir of Fire. You're introduced to a very, very important character in this book, and then you start to get other POVs that are going to be very important in this series, in this book in particular. But the friendship between Selena and Rowan. I loved it in here, okay? Absolutely loved that book. Then we have Queen of Shadows. This is just an epic book all around, freaking epic, okay? And we cannot forget Empire of Storms, okay? This book absolutely broke my heart. Broke my heart. I was sobbing, snotting on the couch while reading this book. So much so that Piper's like, Mom, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. But am I? I don't know. And then, of course, Kingdom of Ash. I will never be over this book. Will never be over it. So good. Such a good ending to a series. Yeah. I do love me some Throne of Glass. I just don't talk about it enough on my channel because my love for Akamath is just so strong. But yeah, all of these, they're my babies. I do love these books so much. I love Sarah, okay? That's all. I just love Sarah J. Maas. Next up, we have After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid, but this is my favorite book of hers. I absolutely love this book. I think it is deeply relatable. So this one, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a romance. It does have an HEA, and it does center around a kind of failed marriage. So it's a marriage in trouble. But I wouldn't go into this expecting like your typical romance book because it's not that. I think it definitely reads more women's fiction. And yeah, I loved this book so much when I read it. Deeply, like I said, deeply relatable. Okay, and then this next book that I have, I know it is not the popular thing anymore to like Colleen Hoover, but the love that I have for this book, Heartbones, you guys, this was the first book that I ever really saw some of the things that I had gone through in life and saw myself in a main character and how this main character felt. And that was just truly something special for me. So this book will always have just a special place in my heart because I just felt so seen in this book. And then the next two that I grabbed from my shelf are both by Miss Liz Tomfordy. We have Caught Up and Play Along. Yes, this beat out the right move for me, okay? So if I was going to pick two from that series, it's going to be these, okay? These Rhodes brothers, everything. They're both baseball romances. Caught Up is a single dad, nanny, very opposites attract romance. And then you have Play Along, which is, again, another baseball romance. It is a fake marriage, fake relationship. And Isaiah Rhodes. Kai and Isaiah Rhodes. If you have not met the Rhodes brothers, what are we doing? What are we doing, okay? And then this one also is going to come as no surprise. Heartless by Elsie Silver. I freaking love this book. Daddy Cade. Ooh, Daddy Cade. Okay, we've got small town, single dad, nanny, romance. Freaking adorable book. Next up, I have two books by Emma Scott. You all know how much I love Emma Scott. So the first one is Between Hello and Goodbye. I mean, I loved this book so much that I had an opportunity to put it in a book box and have a special edition made that I had a hand in creating. So this book is a favorite, okay? We have got small town boy meets a city girl. He is a firefighter. This is set in Hawaii. So beautiful, so emotional. And then if we want to talk about emotional, Full Tilt. Now I'm only including book one because I do like book one way more than I liked book two. I know. Now this book in particular, this is a duet. Book one does not have an HEA, okay? Oh, the way that I cried in this book, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. I'm not going to give it away, but if you've heard about this book and you kind of know what happens and you don't want to read it because of that, please do it. Like, just do it. I promise you, it is worth the read. It is worth every tear that you will shed over this book. This is a firefighter, not a firefighter. This is a rock star romance. Our heroine is I believe she's a singer in a band, and she's just going through a lot, and then she meets the guy who drives her home when she is drunk one night. And it is their story, and just, again, beautiful book. Please read it. Next up, I have The Gravity of Us by Brittany Cherry. This one is grumpy sunshine. It's a little bit forbidden. It is slow burn. It is very emotional, single father. Okay, I'm gonna try to like fly through these. I feel like I'm going very slow. The Hookup by Kristen Callahan. Oh, the way that I love this book. And Drew Baylor. So this is a new adult college football romance, definitely sort of like an opposites attract. And it's another slow burn romance. So freaking good. Okay, and this one, you guys, Unbreak My Heart by Nicole Jacqueline. This is one of the most angsty books that I have ever read in my entire life. This one, again, is a little bit forbidden. Very, like I said, angsty, very emotional. Your heart will hurt for this heroine. It's single father. Just so good. Also, it is surprise pregnancy, which is just one of the reasons why I love this book so much. Okay, and then you all are expecting this one too, right? Blindside by Candy Steiner. This is another new adult college football romance. There is fake dating in here, lessons in seduction. Now, much like Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, this is a book where I really saw myself, but in Clay Johnson. There is a scene where he has just had it, everything that has been weighing on his shoulders, and he just breaks. And his friends tell him, you don't have to do this alone. Please let us help you. That scene sticks with me. I think about it all the time. So I really saw myself in Clay Johnson, which doesn't typically happen for me, seeing myself in a hero in a book. So love this one. Now I'm going to talk about two of my all-time favorite historical fictions. You all know that I have discovered my love for the historical fiction genre, and the one that started it is The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. World War II historical fiction. Just absolutely beautiful book, absolutely heartbreaking, but also just incredible at the same time. And then I don't think anyone's going to be surprised by this one again. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, another World War II historical fiction that follows two sisters. Again, very heartbreaking, but a very, very beautiful story. And since we're on the topic of historicals, I'm going to talk about four of my favorite historical romances next. The first one that I have is Tempt Me at Twilight by Lisa Kleypas. This is book 3 in the Hathaway series. I think that's the series name. Oh man, okay, this is a marriage of convenience. They are caught in sort of a compromising position, so they have to get married. Harry Rutledge. Literally in my notes, I capitalized Harry Rutledge because of how much I love this hero in here, okay? Harry Rutledge, Harry Rutledge. He's a bit of an anti-hero, okay? You're not gonna really know how you feel about him. But I loved him. Loved him. And then we have The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley. This is another marriage of convenience, a bit of a damaged hero. He has been through a lot. Ian Mackenzie. Ooh, again, another hero that I love. Love him so much. All right, next up we have My Darling Duke by Stacey Reed. This one has another damaged and scarred hero, wallflower heroine, and I believe a fake relationship as well. Loved this one. And then we have The Bride by Julie Garwood. Oh my God, this was my first Julie Garwood book, and I really need to read more by her. So this one is a arranged marriage. The king decrees that two warring families have to get married, and she's not very happy about it. The hero in here though is very possessive, very sort of just alpha, but I loved him. I loved him. Next up, we have My Life in Shambles by Karina Halley. This one, we are following a rugby player. This is a fake engagement, and this one is deeply emotional, okay? I was not expecting this book to be as emotional as it was, but I absolutely loved it. I don't know why I keep saying that. These are my favorite books. I don't have to say I loved it. Marriage for One by Ella Mays. This is a slow burn marriage of convenience, grumpy sunshine. The dude basically grunts in here. She literally counts the number of times that he smiles at her. Ugh, it was everything. Everything. All right, what do we have next? Let's see. Oh, The Simple Wild, another Grumpy Sunshine. Oh my gosh, again, another very emotional book. Slow burn as well. I loved this one. Cried so hard in this book. And then I'm just like picking these up from my lap. Oh, The Fisherman Duet by Jewel E. Ann. Angsty. The character development in here, you have to read both of these books though to really appreciate the heroine's character development. This one is a bit forbidden as well. It is an age gap romance too. There's a scene in here with a pool table. Yeah. And then another Julie Ann book is Look the Part. This one is a single dad, another Grumpy Sunshine romance. I really like Grumpy Sunshine. A lot of these books that I'm talking about in here, they're Grumpy Sunshine. But if you were to ask me like my favorite tropes, I don't know that Grumpy Sunshine would have been on there. It probably would. I don't know. I just didn't realize that so many of my favorite books were actually Grumpy Sunshine. This, another emotional book. So freaking good. And then we have King of the Court by R.S. Gray. This is one of her more emotional books, one of her more angsty books. The hero in here plays basketball, which you don't really see a lot of basketball romances. It's just not a sport that people write a lot about. I loved this one because it was a little bit different from what R.S. Gray typically writes. And she needs to do more of this because this was freaking fantastic. We haven't seen a dark romance on this list, but I do have one. Even If It Hurts by Sam Mariano. I need to reread this one. New adult, dark romance, like I said. The hero, Dare. Crazy, but brilliant. Brilliant. Next up, I have two Mariana Zapata books. The first one I'm going to talk about is Luna and the Lie. This is a Grumpy Sunshine slow burn, age gap, workplace romance, and all roads lead here. The way that I love this book. Another slow burn, another Grumpy Sunshine, another age gap. So freaking good. The next two that I have, it's the series as a whole, but I only have my favorite books from the series. So Still by Kennedy Ryan. This is book 3 in the Grip trilogy. This is Brother's best friend. He is a rapper. This book, very freaking emotional. You will cry. Just epic sort of love story in this one. And then we have Exodus by Kate Stewart. This is book 2 in the Ravenhood trilogy. I don't think I've cried over a character like I did in this book, okay? Sobbing, snot coming out of my nose. Absolutely heartbroken over this book. Still to this day, and I read it years ago. So then I have some books with time travel, which is kind of a very niche like trope, and I need more recommendations. If you have any time traveling besides Outlander, if you have any time traveling books, please leave them down below. The first one I'm going to talk about is The Surviving Trace. This is part of the Surviving Time series by Calla Reed. I think it's Calla, but it's spelled like Callia. I don't know. This one is set in, I believe, like 1912 in South Carolina, but it's a modern day heroine who time travels. Again, a Grumpy Sunshine romance, a bit of enemies to lovers. They don't really get along. Time travel, just things do get a little crazy in the series as the series goes on, but this book is so freaking good. I could not put it down. And then these were my two favorite books of last year, okay? We have Across Time and Across Eternity by Miss Elizabeth O'Rourke, or L. O'Rourke is what she wrote these under. Again, this one is time travel. Our heroine goes back to France in World War II. So you can imagine some of the things that happen in this book. This is another one where things get a little wild. They get a little crazy, but I loved it. The love story in here too is freaking epic. But I will say that it doesn't have an HEA. There's another little like series, not series, but another kind of novella that goes along with it that kind of wraps everything up really well. But I was up till, again, like 2 or 3 in the morning reading these books, sobbing, trying not to wake my husband up while he was asleep next to me. They're so good. So freaking good. This is part of the Parallel series. Is that what it's called? Yeah, so you have Parallel and Intersect, which are the first 2 books, and then these actually take place before those books, but these just stand out to me so much, and I love them with everything. Everything. So I think those are all 33 books that I wanted to talk about. Let me know if you predicted any of these being on the list. I'm sure you did. And let me know how many we have in common. Let me know like your top 3 favorite books of all time in the comments down below. If you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a birthday cake emoji. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.